January 9th, 2026, a date not merely arriving on the calendar but whispered from the chambers of eternity. On this night I stand before you because there are moments when God interrupts the noise of the world and releases a revelation that cannot be ignored. God has spoken not in suggestion but in declaration, saying, "My people, you need to know what happened tomorrow night. For the God who formed time is not bound by time. He speaks from the end to the beginning, from what has not yet entered our sight but has already passed before his throne. What unfolded in the unseen realm, what happened tomorrow night, will shape the path we walk today. And so tonight we step beyond the ordinary and into the prophetic. For January 9th, 2026 is not just a date to remember, but a mystery God is calling us to understand. January 9th, 2026. A date that does not simply exist on a page or flicker across the silence of a calendar, but a date that stands with a weight, with a presence, with the trembling sense that something more than time is moving beneath it. There are moments when the ordinary fabric of life seems thin, and behind it you can feel another world pressing in, a message trying to break through, a whisper that does not belong to any human voice. This date is one of those moments. This date bears the echo of a declaration that does not rise from the earth, but descends from the heavens. And the declaration is this: you need to know what happened tomorrow night. A paradox to the natural mind, but to the one who stands beyond time, not a paradox at all. For he speaks from the eternal, from the place where tomorrow is already yesterday, where what has not yet unfolded in our sight has already passed beneath his gaze. And when he speaks, it is not for curiosity, not for speculation, but for transformation. When he speaks of what happened tomorrow night, he is calling his people to wake up from the illusion that they live only in the present moment, to wake up from the belief that life moves from day to day with no unseen currents shaping the path beneath their feet. Tomorrow night, a moment you have not yet lived, yet a moment that has already taken place in the realm where eternity dwells. It is not about the event itself as much as the revelation it carries, a revelation meant to shake you, to summon you, to press upon your spirit the urgency that you have been chosen to hear. The world around you moves as if everything is stable, as if tomorrow will look like yesterday, as if the cycles of life will continue without interruption. But heaven whispers differently. Heaven's message does not come to soothe or to confirm complacency. It comes to break the illusion of safety, to unveil what lies behind the curtain of the unseen. What happened tomorrow night is not about fear, not about confusion, but about awakening. An awakening to the truth that God does not speak in the language of convenience, but in the language of destiny. When He says you need to know, it means that your path, your calling, your purpose, your very steps are about to intersect with something that has already been set into motion. The world has grown numb to divine interruptions. People rush through their days, their eyes fixed on screens, their minds consumed with noise, their hearts dulled by routine. But when God pierces through that noise, His words are not suggestions, they are assignments, they are summons, they are signals that something has shifted in the spiritual realm and that His people must align with what has shifted. What happened tomorrow night is part of that shift. There are events that take place in darkness before they ever appear in the light. There are movements in the spiritual world that unfold long before any evidence reaches human perception. And what happened tomorrow night carries the imprint of such a movement. A turning, a release, a confrontation, a preparation. Something sealed in the unseen but intended to shape the seen. Something meant to alert the soul that time is not moving as casually as many believe. You must understand that heaven often speaks in mysteries not to confuse, but to awaken. When God speaks of tomorrow night as if it has already occurred, He is reminding you that He is not confined to the line we call time. He sees the end from the beginning from the end, and everything in between with equal clarity. When He speaks to you now about what happens later, He is pulling you into alignment with His perspective, rather than leaving you trapped within your own. He is calling you to view your life not as a sequence of random days, but as a tapestry woven with intention, with patterns you can only see from the vantage point of heaven. He is calling you to prepare for something your eyes have not seen, but your spirit is meant to recognize. What happened tomorrow night is a signal that something has shifted in the spiritual atmosphere, and you have been chosen to discern that shift. The human mind looks at tomorrow as uncertain, as undefined, as something that has yet to become real. But God speaks of tomorrow as though it has already been written, because to Him it has. Your tomorrow is not a blank page in the hands of chance. It is a page already inscribed with the imprint of His will, His warnings, His purposes. When He says you need to know what happened tomorrow night, He is pulling back the veil to show you that what unfolds in the near future is not random. It is intentional. It is part of a divine sequence, a chain of events that requires your awareness, your readiness, your vigilance. Something occurred in the realm beyond sight that will soon manifest in the realm of sight. And because it concerns you, your steps, your calling, your destiny, He will not allow you to walk blindly into a moment He has already seen. There are prophetic moments in life where heaven interrupts your routine not to startle you, but to reposition you. This message is one of those interruptions. It is not meant to make you wonder about a date, but to make you awaken to the reality of divine movement. For too long, many have walked as if God speaks only in generalities, as if His voice is distant, as if His involvement in human affairs is abstract. But when He marks a day, when He speaks of a time not yet lived, He is reminding you that He is actively involved in the unfolding of your life. He is reminding you that your steps matter, your choices matter, your awareness matters. Tomorrow night was not just a moment in time, it was a moment in God's design. Something shifted, something was sealed, something was released. And you need to know it, because what happens in the invisible realm often determines what happens in the visible realm. This is a call to open your eyes, a call to awaken your discernment, a call to shake off the sleep that has settled over your spirit. For when God reveals what happens before it happens, it is because He is preparing you to stand, to act, to align, or to avoid something that would have caught you unaware. Do not assume that tomorrow will mirror yesterday. Do not assume that the patterns of life will continue in predictable ways. Heaven is signaling that a moment has arrived where the natural and the supernatural collide. What happened tomorrow night is part of that collision. It is a reminder that the world you see is not the only world that exists. There is a realm behind this one, shaping it, influencing it, directing it. And something in that realm has shifted in a way that requires your attention. When God gives a warning wrapped in mystery, it is never to confuse but to sharpen. It is never to frighten but to awaken. It is never to send you into speculation but to call you into preparation. You need to know what happened tomorrow night because it carries implications for the path in front of you. It may not be an event you witnessed, but it is an event that witnessed you. It may not be a word spoken in your presence, but it is a word spoken for your sake. It may not be a sign written in the sky, but it is a sign written in the flow of time. Heaven has already acknowledged it. Eternity has already recorded it. And now you are being summoned into awareness of it, not to fear, but to align, not to retreat, but to stand alert, not to question the timing, but to trust the one who holds time in His hands. The world is changing in ways many do not perceive. Beneath the surface of global noise, political tension, cultural confusion, and spiritual numbness, there is a shift taking place. The unseen realm is stirring. The plans of darkness and the purposes of heaven are converging in a way that demands spiritual clarity. What happened tomorrow night is connected to this convergence. It is a signal that something has been set into motion that will influence the days ahead. Those who are spiritually asleep will walk into it blindly, but those who heed this message will walk with discernment. They will recognize the signs. They will understand the moment. They will not be overtaken by what surprises the world. They will stand in the light of revelation even as others stumble in the shadow of ignorance. You are being called to rise above the natural lens and adopt the lens of the eternal, to step out of the realm where tomorrow is uncertain and into the realm where tomorrow has already been witnessed, to understand that this message is not casual but urgent, not poetic but prophetic, not symbolic but strategic. Heaven does not waste words. Heaven does not speak without purpose. And when God says you need to know what happened tomorrow night, it is because what was set in motion carries weight for your life, your purpose, your journey. It may challenge you, it may shift your direction, it may demand decisions you were not preparing to make, but it is part of a divine sequence that you are meant to walk within with clarity, not confusion. This moment calls you to listen with more than ears, to see with more than eyes, to receive with more than understanding. It calls you to quiet the noise of the world so you can hear the whisper of heaven. It calls you to step out of the rhythm of the ordinary and align with the rhythm of the eternal. It calls you to acknowledge that the God who speaks of tomorrow before you reach tomorrow is not distant, not silent, not inactive. He is near. He is speaking. He is guiding. He is revealing what you need to know, not for curiosity. Thank you, but for destiny. What happened tomorrow night is not about the mystery of the phrase, but the message behind it. The call to awaken, the call to discern, the call to prepare, the call to step into alignment with the movement of heaven that is unfolding even now, even here, even in this moment where you hear these words. Time is never just a measure of hours and minutes. Time is the stage upon which destiny unfolds. Time is a current, a river flowing from eternity into the moment we call now. And destiny is the hand that moves upon that current, the unseen force guiding the steps of men and women, the purpose woven into the tapestry of what has been and what shall be. January 9th, 2026 is not merely a date, it is a juncture, a point of intersection between what is seen and what is unseen, between what has been ordained and what has been enacted. When God speaks of tomorrow night, He is speaking not only to reveal what has occurred, but to awaken a profound understanding of how time and destiny are aligned. There are moments when the temporal and the eternal converge, when the clock in the human world ticks in rhythm with the heartbeat of heaven. This is such a moment. This is a moment in which the currents of destiny, which have flowed unseen for years, are now converging into clarity. And you, as His chosen, are called to recognize it, to step into it, to understand that your time is not accidental, your place is not incidental, and your purpose is not delayed. The alignment of time and destiny is the hidden truth behind every prophetic word. Men and women walk through days unaware of the spiritual choreography that surrounds them. They make choices as if they are alone, as if the universe has no plan, as if their steps are independent from the currents of heaven. But when God declares that you need to know what happened tomorrow night, He is signaling that your steps are never separate from His timing. He is declaring that what may appear in your human mind as coincidence, as chance, as randomness is in reality an intricate alignment of His purpose. There is a rhythm to life, a cadence set by the divine, and those who fail to recognize it stumble. Those who embrace it move with precision. The alignment of time and destiny is not passive. It is active. It is dynamic. It moves like the pulse of the stars, like the turning of the seasons, like the tide responding to the moon. And it is calling you to see that every hour, every event, every conversation, every encounter is part of a larger design that has been written long before your first breath. The human eye cannot see the invisible currents, yet the Spirit can discern them. There are events that happen in the world that appear small, inconsequential, even trivial, but they are the tipping points, the hinges upon which destiny turns. What happened tomorrow night is one of those events. To the natural mind, it may appear distant, irrelevant, or undecided, but to the eyes of God, it is decisive, pivotal, monumental, and what is more, He is calling you into awareness of it so that you do not walk blindly into the unfolding of destiny. There is a reason why some people experience life as a series of random occurrences while others walk as if guided by an invisible hand. It is not mere luck. It is the alignment of time and destiny. And God is revealing to you that this alignment is happening now, in the very moment, and that your understanding of it will determine whether you walk in accordance with it or stumble over it. The alignment of time and destiny requires discernment. It is not enough to merely live day by day. It is not enough to passively experience the world around you. To recognize the convergence of divine timing and personal purpose, one must awaken spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, and morally. One must learn to read the signs of the hour, the signals of the unseen, the whispers of eternity. God's declaration about tomorrow night is not a casual observation. It is a summons to wake up. It is a call to step out of the mundane, to step out of the ordinary, to step out of the temporal illusions that cloud the eyes and dull the heart. When heaven aligns time with destiny, there is a force that moves within the very fabric of life. There is a momentum, a gravity, a weight that carries those attuned to it along a path of purpose. But those who are unaware, those who are distracted, those who dismiss the spiritual as irrelevant are left behind, adrift, untethered from the currents that could have carried them to fulfillment. Time itself is not linear in the eyes of the divine. God does not experience yesterday, today, and tomorrow as separate compartments. He experiences them simultaneously. He sees the end from the beginning and the beginning from the end. And when he tells you about tomorrow night, he is revealing that your destiny is already intersecting with that moment. It is not only about what will happen, but about the way your life is positioned to respond to it. Your destiny is not only a matter of your actions, but of your awareness, your perception, your alignment with what God has already orchestrated. There are forces in the unseen that prepare the path, that clear obstacles, that open doors, and that illuminate opportunities, and God is calling you to recognize that the alignment of time and destiny is already in motion. Your response, your readiness, your discernment is what allows you to walk in harmony with it rather than stumble against it. Consider how often people misalign themselves with destiny. They pursue ambitions that are out of sync with their purpose. They make choices that contradict the timing of God. They act impulsively, impatiently, prematurely, or passively, missing the moment that was already theirs. And yet God is merciful. He does not leave his people wandering without guidance. He speaks, he warns, he reveals, he aligns. When he says you need to know what happened tomorrow night, he is giving you insight, foresight, clarity. He is showing you where the currents of time and destiny meet. He is showing you the moment when preparation meets opportunity, when readiness meets revelation, when faith meets fruition. And if you heed it, you will find yourself moving with precision on, stepping confidently into the place that God has prepared for you. Time and destiny are like two rivers converging. One is the flow of your life, the sequence of days, the rhythm of human existence. The other is the flow of God's purpose, the unseen orchestration of eternity, the plan that surpasses comprehension. When these rivers meet, a powerful current forms. That current carries with it not only opportunity, but responsibility. It carries with it not only blessings, but decisions. It carries with it both revelation and accountability. What happened tomorrow night is one such convergence. It is a moment when the currents intersect in a way that impacts the natural world, the spiritual world, and the eternal world. To be unaware of it is to risk being swept aside by the current. To be aware is to stand in the river and ride its flow, guided by wisdom, insight, and divine alignment. The alignment of time and destiny is also a matter of preparation. God does not simply declare events for the sake of curiosity. He declares them so that his people may prepare. To know what happened tomorrow night is to know where to focus your attention, where to position your heart, where to align your choices. Preparation is not passive, it is active. It is not merely external, it is internal. It is the cultivation of awareness, the sharpening of discernment, the readiness of spirit. When heaven aligns time and destiny, those who are prepared will recognize it immediately. They will understand the moment. They will respond with wisdom. They will move with purpose, and those who ignore it will stumble, unaware of the forces at work and the opportunities passing by. Every step you take, every decision you make, every thought you hold has the potential to either align you with destiny or misalign you with it. The moments of life are like markers on a path, and God reveals certain markers in advance so that his people may recognize the path and walk with confidence. What happened tomorrow night is one such marker. It is a signpost, a landmark, a reference point, a guide for those who have ears to hear, eyes to see, and hearts to understand. It is a moment that, though invisible to most, carries tremendous weight for those attuned to God's timing. Your destiny is intertwined with that moment, and your alignment with it will determine not only your path, but your impact, your influence, and your fulfillment. The alignment of time and destiny is a call to faith. To recognize that God speaks of tomorrow before you live it is to acknowledge that He is orchestrating the details of your life. It is to trust that the unseen realm is not chaotic but ordered. It is to believe that your life is part of a larger plan, one that is precise, intentional, and perfect in its timing. And when God gives insight into what happened tomorrow night, He is providing an invitation to step into that plan, to participate in that alignment, to move in harmony with the flow of eternity. Those who accept the invitation will walk with confidence. Those who ignore it will stumble in confusion. Those who hesitate will miss the opportunity to engage fully with what has been prepared for them. There are events in life that happen quietly, invisibly, unnoticed by the world, yet they are pregnant with purpose, rich with meaning, and destined to shape the course of history. These are the moments hidden from the eyes of men, operating in the realm of the unseen, where divine hand and spiritual forces move in ways beyond human perception. What happened tomorrow night is one such hidden event. It may not appear monumental to those who walk in the natural, those who measure significance by the eyes or ears, those who judge by what is tangible. Yet to the one who governs all, to the one who orchestrates eternity, it is weighty, it is pivotal, it is destined to transform the present, the future, and the course of countless lives. Hidden events are the currency of divine purpose. They are the invisible turning wheels that guide the visible movements of life. And God is calling you to recognize that these unseen moments are not random, not incidental, not inconsequential, but full of intentional power. The hidden is always preparing the visible. The events you do not see, the moments you cannot grasp, the movements that go unnoticed, they are preparing the stage for revelation, for alignment, for manifestation. What happened tomorrow night, though unseen now, carries with it a momentum that is already shaping the environment around you. Like a seed buried in darkness, it is growing unseen, but its growth will one day break through the surface and become a tree of impact, influence, and purpose. Hidden events are the incubators of destiny. They are the quiet work of the hand of God, laying foundations, positioning people, orchestrating encounters, shifting hearts, molding minds, opening doors, and closing pathways in ways unseen yet decisive. And you are being called to understand that the hidden carries power because the visible depends upon it. The world judges by sight, but eternity judges by substance, and substance is formed in the hidden before it ever manifests in the visible. There is a pattern to how the hidden becomes visible. It begins in the realm of awareness. Those who are spiritually awake, those who discern the movements of God, begin to recognize the currents beneath the surface. They begin to perceive connections that the world misses, patterns that are invisible to the natural eye, timing that is imperceptible to human clocks. God's message about tomorrow night is a call to this awareness. You are being invited to see that the unseen is not separate from you, but intertwined with your life, with your decisions, with your steps, with your calling. What is hidden is not hidden from God, and what is hidden is not hidden from you if your heart is attentive. There is a spiritual geography in which hidden events operate, and those who learn to navigate it will find themselves walking in purpose, walking in alignment, walking in the fulfillment of destiny rather than stumbling over it. The turning of hidden events into visible purpose is a process. It is not instantaneous. It is not haphazard. It is a divine choreography where timing, readiness, faith, and obedience converge. Hidden events work quietly to prepare the necessary conditions for manifestation. They prepare your heart, they prepare your mind, they prepare your circumstances, they arrange relationships, remove obstacles, open doors, and illuminate pathways that would otherwise remain closed. What happened tomorrow night is not merely an isolated incident. It is part of a larger orchestration, a divine blueprint that is being revealed to those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. God does not leave his children to wander blindly in the dark. He illuminates what must be known, even before it reaches the surface, even before it becomes tangible. And that illumination is the bridge between the hidden and the visible. Faith is required to walk in this awareness, to recognize that hidden events are meaningful, that they carry purpose, that they will one day reveal their significance. Requires belief in the unseen. Faith is not a passive hope. It is an active engagement with reality beyond sight. It is the recognition that God is always at work, even when the world seems static, when nothing seems to move, when the ordinary masks the extraordinary. Faith allows you to interpret the hidden correctly. Faith enables you to stand firm even when the evidence of the natural is absent. Faith makes you receptive to revelation that others dismiss, prepares you to act when the opportunity is revealed, and positions you to inherit what has been planted even if you cannot yet see it. What happened tomorrow night is a seed of faith, a call to trust, a reminder that the invisible world is always shaping the visible and that purpose will not remain hidden forever. Purpose is the revelation of hidden work. Every hidden event is designed to produce something, to bear fruit, to complete a plan. It is never wasted, never random, never meaningless. The events that go unnoticed, the shifts that escape human awareness, the movements that seem irrelevant, they are all purposeful. They are the tools God uses to shape lives, to prepare hearts, to mold character, to create opportunities, to align circumstances. What happened tomorrow night is a purpose-bearing moment. Its significance may not be evident now, but it has been recorded in heaven, measured, weighed, and assigned a place in the unfolding of destiny. Hidden events are the laboratory of divine intention, the workshop of eternal craftsmanship, where God prepares what will eventually appear in the visible world. And when that moment reveals itself, those attuned to its purpose will understand it, embrace it, and move forward with clarity and precision. The turning of hidden events into visible purpose also requires patience. Time is a critical component in the unveiling of what is hidden. The seed must grow in darkness before it sprouts. The plan must be set in motion before it is completed. The work of the unseen must continue in silence before it breaks into the open. Many are tempted to rush, to force, to act before the appointed time, only to misalign themselves with God's purposes. What happened tomorrow night is a reminder that divine timing is perfect, that readiness must precede revelation, and that patience is a prerequisite to understanding. Those who recognize the hidden and respect its timing will witness the emergence of purpose in ways that astonish the world, while those who ignore the hidden or fail to trust in God's orchestration will miss the fullness of what is intended. Discernment is another key in this process. To understand how hidden events shape visible outcomes requires spiritual perception. It requires insight into the ways God moves behind the scenes, into the ways the spiritual realm interacts with the natural, into the subtle signals, the gentle nudges, the quiet urgencies that indicate something significant is occurring. What happened tomorrow night is a call to sharpen discernment, to attune your spirit to the language of God, to recognize the patterns and signals that point to purpose. Discernment allows you to see the connection between what is hidden and what is emerging, between what is invisible and what is manifest, between the preparation and the fulfillment. Without discernment, hidden events remain mere mysteries. With discernment, they become guides, roadmaps, and instruments of divine alignment. The world often confuses visibility with importance. People measure significance by what they can see, by what is obvious, by what produces immediate results. But the kingdom of God operates differently. Hidden events are often the most important because they shape outcomes before they ever appear. They are the foundation upon which visible success is built. They are the quiet, unseen work of preparation that ensures the manifestation of destiny. What happened tomorrow night may not have been visible to the human eye, but it carries a weight that will be seen in due season. It is a turning point, a pivot, a shift that will eventually produce fruit, reveal insight, and fulfill purpose. Those who recognize the hidden understand that true power and progress often come from unseen forces and quiet preparation rather than from immediate visibility or public recognition. The transition from hidden to visible is also a test. It tests faith, patience, discernment, and readiness. When a hidden event begins to reveal its purpose, there is often a window of opportunity that requires alignment and action. Those who have cultivated awareness and preparation are ready to step in, to act decisively, to embrace the unfolding of God's plan. Those who are unprepared may see the event, recognize it too late, or fail to grasp its significance. What happened tomorrow night is a turning point, and God is revealing it now so that you may position yourself correctly, spiritually and practically, to step into the purpose that will become visible. This is not a chance. This is not coincidence. This is divine orchestration, designed to bring clarity, opportunity, and fulfillment to those who are ready to perceive it. Ultimately, the turning of hidden events into visible purpose is about partnership with God. It is an invitation to engage with His work, to align with His timing, to recognize His preparation, and to respond in faith, obedience, and readiness. The hidden is not meant to remain hidden forever. The invisible is not meant to remain